Doomsday stories hold a unique and powerful grip on our collective imagination. They succeed not merely as entertainment, but as profound cultural artifacts. These narratives compress high stakes, clear moral choices, and breathtaking spectacle into a single, overwhelming crisis. This singular event tests characters and entire societies to their absolute limits. Audiences are invited to experience survival, loss, and the potential for rebirth all at once. It is a crucible for humanity, revealing both our greatest strengths and our deepest flaws. The appeal of Doomsday Narratives lies in their ability to distill complex societal anxieties into a tangible threat. They offer a simplified, yet intensely dramatic, framework for exploring fundamental questions about human nature. When the world teeters on the brink, our priorities become starkly clear. These stories strip away the mundane, forcing characters and viewers alike to confront existential dilemmas. The spectacle of destruction, while often terrifying, also provides a cathartic release. It allows us to process fears about our own future in a controlled, fictional environment. Across various media, the core threat of doomsday takes many forms, each resonating with specific anxieties. Consider the visceral horror of the xenomorph outbreak in Alien, where isolation and body horror combine to create a terrifying survival ordeal. The threat is primal, relentless, and utterly alien. In contrast, Predator presents a different kind of existential challenge: man versus a superior hunter. Here, the doomsday is personal, a relentless pursuit that tests the limits of human ingenuity and resilience. It's a high-stakes game of cat and mouse where the hunter becomes the hunted. Star Wars elevates the stakes to a galactic scale, depicting a civilization-wide war against oppressive empires. The doomsday here is political and systemic, threatening freedom and justice across countless worlds. It's an epic, mythic struggle for the soul of a galaxy. The nuclear apocalypse of Fallout plunges us into a post-apocalyptic RPG landscape. Survival is paramount, but so are the moral choices that define a new, fractured society. It explores how humanity rebuilds, or fails to, after ultimate devastation. Mad Max paints a bleak picture of resource collapse and anarchy, where scarcity drives tribalism and brutal conflict. The doomsday is a slow burn, a societal breakdown that reveals the raw, desperate struggle for survival. It's a world where humanity's worst impulses are unleashed. Even blockbuster sci-fi like Transformers presents a doomsday scenario, with a robot war for Earth. Here, technology itself becomes the weapon, threatening to obliterate human civilization. It's a spectacle of destruction driven by ancient rivalries. The Avengers sagas, particularly Endgame and the Ultron storyline, showcase an AI uprising and cosmic war. These narratives explore existential threats on a universal scale, demanding ultimate sacrifice. The doomsday is a test of heroism and collective will. Finally, Superman vs. Batman, Doomsday offers cataclysmic combat against a pure creature of destruction. This scenario highlights the immense power required to face such a threat, and the devastating consequences of that power. It's a raw display of force against an unstoppable foe. Within these diverse doomsday scenarios, certain character archetypes consistently emerge. They serve as anchors for our understanding and emotional investment. These figures externalize our social anxieties and force us to confront difficult moral choices. The reluctant hero is a cornerstone of these narratives. Figures like Ripley, Max, or the various vault dwellers in Fallout are ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances. They embody humanity and often become the moral center of the story, fighting not for glory, but for survival and justice. Then there is the hardened soldier, tactical and pragmatic, like Dutch in Predator. These characters represent discipline under pressure, often possessing the skills necessary to navigate extreme danger. They are the pragmatists, focused on immediate threats and solutions. The mad or fallen visionary serves as a chilling ideological antagonist. Ultron, Immortan Joe, or Thanos all believe destruction is a necessary solution, a twisted path to a perceived greater good. They force us to question the ethics of ultimate power and radical ideology. Finally, the monstrous other represents pure existential threat. The xenomorph, doomsday, or the predator are forces of dehumanizing fear, often lacking discernible motive beyond instinct or conquest. They are the embodiment of the unknown, the uncontrollable, and the utterly terrifying. These archetypes are not accidental. They are deeply ingrained in our storytelling traditions because they effectively externalize our anxieties about technology, scarcity, invasion, and the loss of agency. They provide relatable lenses through which to view unimaginable crises. Doomsday narratives function as crucial cultural pressure valves. They allow societies to rehearse their deepest fears, whether of war, climate catastrophe, or artificial intelligence, and to imagine potential responses. These responses can range from inspiring cooperation to terrifying authoritarianism, or even complete societal collapse. The good guys in these stories are typically protagonists who protect their community and are willing to sacrifice for the greater good. Ripley's unwavering fight against the xenomorphs, or the Avengers' collective stand against Thanos, exemplify this selfless heroism. They represent our ideals of courage and altruism in the face of annihilation. Conversely, the bad guys are those who weaponize crisis or seek to exploit it for control. Ultron's desire to save humanity by destroying it, Immortan Joe's tyrannical rule over scarce resources, or the Decepticons' relentless pursuit of power, all highlight the dangers of unchecked ambition and moral corruption. They embody the darker side of human, or artificial, nature. Intriguingly, some narratives feature characters who exist in an ambiguous space, blurring the lines between good and bad. Anti-heroes like Max in Mad Max, or conflicted leaders who commit atrocities for the sake of order, challenge our ethical frameworks. These figures compel audiences to debate the difficult question of whether the ends can ever justify the means, especially when survival is at stake. Doomsday works because it magnifies choices, simplifies stakes, and masterfully blends spectacle with intimate human drama. It's a narrative engine that consistently delivers high-impact storytelling. Across all media, the same archetypes recur: the reluctant hero, the hardened soldier, the ideological villain, and the monstrous other. These archetypes resonate because they map directly onto our real-world anxieties about technology, scarcity, and the loss of agency. They provide a framework for understanding our place in a world that often feels on the brink. By confronting fictional apocalypses, we gain insight into our own resilience, our capacity for both destruction and rebirth. Ultimately, doomsday stories are not just about the end of the world. They are about what it means to be human when everything is stripped away. They are about the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the hope we cling to, even in the darkest of times.